Today I'm going to show you how to fix this problem. It's a pretty common issue to have with older tires that are dry, especially a trailer or something. The valve stem broke, so the tire went flat. Well, you got to put a new valve stem in. In order to do that, you break the bead and then pull the new stem through. It's not a very complicated process, it just takes a little bit of muscle. So first, let's start by getting this tire up off the ground and removing it from the trailer. So now this step, it can be very helpful to have a second person and something super heavy. You can do this with another vehicle. One of the easier ways is putting something on the tire that's not going to puncture it or damage it. A piece of lumber is a great tool to use, and you want to get as close to the rim as possible. And then what you do is use the weight of the vehicle to help break that bead. One way you can do that is you lift the vehicle with a jack, slide this underneath, and then slowly let the weight of the wheel down on the lumber. And what you're trying to do is squeeze this tire and push it until this bead pops off of the rim, and it's then loose. That'll let you get to the back side of this valve stem to repair it. In my case, I'm just going to use the backhoe bucket because I can push downward with that, and that's going to give me all the force I need. So let's get this going right now. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the force required to break the bead. And this is just a trailer tire, so there's not a whole lot here size-wise. Eventually we were able to push hard enough and break it. We didn't puncture the sidewall or do any damage, but the whole point is we got that valve stem exposed. That was the goal. So now we can easily remove this thing. Since it's broken, it shouldn't give us too much difficulty to pull it out. It can help if you've got two people or something that you can work on, a workbench. But even just standing on this thing is enough to collapse the tire and get the rest of that stem out of the way. So that's it. This valve stem is no longer in service. You can save the cap if you're missing one somewhere. But now what we got to do is get a little bit of lube on the new one and pull it into place. All right, so now in order to reset this, a little bit of dish soap can go a long way. You can give yourself something to slide on. You remove the cap. They do have a special tool that threads on to the valve stem to pull it through. But if you're careful, a pair of pliers on the threads can also work well. So that's locked in position. So I should be on the right track to getting this thing reinflated. With some luck, getting it beyond that point of the bead there shouldn't be much more than a little bit of a bang. Looks like I'm pretty close here to getting it to reseat, so some soap on the rim and pressure from your air compressor should be enough to get this thing back to shape. Let's see, I'm going to try doing it dry without anything and see if it'll want to pop back into position. I've reattached the wheel to the trailer because that's about as safe as it can get. You know, it's held to the trailer with the bolts. It's not going to fly off and go crazy if this tire, for whatever reason, fails to inflate properly. And we've got our air compressor here, so let's see if just basic air pressure can get this guy reseated. It's getting close. Can actually hear it creeping on the rim. So a little bit more pressure. Well, that bead is now set. Now we check pressure. We're ready to hit the road again.